Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon everything. Introduce myself. My name is Agus Ristiono. I'm student from University Maritim Haji. The study of education chemistry. Here I will be little explain about the batteries. Following the video discussion here. Check it out. A battery is a device consisting of one or more electronic chemical cells with external connection provided to power electrical devices such as a flashlight, cell phones, and electric cars. When the battery supplies electrical power, the positive terminal is the cathode and the negative terminal is the anode. Negatively marked terminals are source of the electrons that I will point to external circuit, the positive terminal, when the battery is connected to an external electrical load. But the redox reaction converts the high energy reactant to lower energy products and different in free energy. Listen to external circuit as electrical energy. Nah, historical term battery specially refers to an device consisting of several cells, but it has an evolved to include device consisting of one cell.
Alessandro Volta was born in Como, Italy, 8 February 1745. The Alessandro family, including his family Filippo Volta, father was no problem. Their family highly respect education and environmental science, which formed the Volta to love the science, especially physics, so that it became a great physics known because it successfully developed the battery. When he was 28 years old, Volta applied to be a physics teacher at a high school in Como, until he was named the headmaster of the high school. In between his busy teaching activities, became professor at the University of Pavia, where he discovered what the West called the Volta its pill, the first practical method for producing electricity. Voltaic pills are made by stacking copper plates and zinc. These alternately with pieces of carbon dipped in salt water and placed between the plates. The pill can produce electric current. This invention is recognized as the first battery that can produce electrical currents consistently and reliably. Volta actually accidentally discovered the battery, inventing the battery. The first clue about this battery counter was actually shown by other Italian scientists, but in a different realm. He was Luigi Galvani, who was also physicist, making a battery discovery in 1718. Luigi Galvani did an accidentally experiment of bending a dead frog legs, was then modified in such a way with a chopper hook and accidentally touched the iron to make the frog's leg droop. At the time, it is argued that it is impossible for frog legs or legs to contain electricity. The make the frog throbbing legs come from the voltaic difference between chopper that binds the wood with iron which is accidentally touched by the frog legs. The him to do an experiment that led to phenomenal discovery of this battery. Yes, he realized that contact between two different metals was what caused the movement of the older brother's feet, but not if using the same metal of descent. Made the relationship between voltaic and galvanized net. Alexander Volta then did further research to prove the theory. He continued the work of Luigi Galvani and proved that the Galvani theory of the shock effect of frog legs was wrong. In fact, this effect arose due to two dissimilar metals from Galvani scalpels. Based on this opinion, Voltaic succeeded in creating voltaic battery or voltaic cells until B to the consulting the electricity came from a metal not made or a dead frogs. Like basically, this voltaic discovery led us to technological advances and all is that we have felt so that the international unit of magnitude pressure physics is false. Because of the service in 1801, the great emperor of France invited Volta to Paris to demonstrate his discovery in front of the Academy of Science. Emperor, so amazed to be gifted by Alexander Volta in pieces, then awarded him with the title of Count and a gold medal. Emperor Napoleon also regarded him a senator. Alexander Volta did the work precisely on March 5, 1827 in the same city when he was born. Thank you for the service of Alexander Volta in creating batteries.
So today's the Chemistry Nobel Prize has been announced, and for once it's really excited Neil because it's for lithium batteries, and so he's gone on a battery safari. Some of you know that Neil is a motorcyclist. He has an electric motorcycle, which in the honour of the Nobel Prize he brought into the lab.
How did you find out that they won the prize?
Well, I had planned to watch it live, but I was actually working this morning and I forgot about the announcement. So somebody came into my office very excitedly telling me that finally the lithium-ion people had got the prize. It's been awarded to the people who really made lithium-ion batteries what they are today and gave us the kind of devices we all take for granted.
The batteries on this motorbike are lithium-ion batteries, but they're not what they seem. If you look inside them, and Neil started in the excitement taking it to bits to show us what's inside, you'll find there is a whole stack of many lithium-ion batteries. And the key point about these batteries is that they are small, they have a lot of energy in them, and they're very light. The reason there are lots of batteries is because each battery is about 4 volts. And to drive a motorcycle engine with enough power, you need a much higher voltage, so you'll have a whole series of batteries in series. This is much more efficient than low voltage, where you need very thick wires to take the big current.
The way a battery works is effectively it shuttles electrons from a negative electrode to a positive electrode. In the batteries that were developed by the prize winners, you have lithium atoms that release electrons, and those electrons travel through a wire powering our phone or whatever it is, And at the same time, the lithium ions that are released travel through an electrolyte and then recombine with the electrons at the other side.
Neil decided he would try and find a lithium battery which he could take to bits. The first battery he found had lithium written on it, but it was an old-fashioned battery which, not using modern lithium ion technology, it said lithium thionyl chloride. None of us actually know how it works, except it's not the right sort. As he was sawing it open, he got really quite a nasty whiff of some gas, probably the thionyl chloride, but this didn't stop Neil taking it to bits and throwing it into water.
Stanley was looking at materials that could, as we say, intercalate the lithium. So when the lithium travels through the electrolyte during the battery operation, it intercalates into the positive electrode. So he was developing materials that could capture this lithium after it was released and then re-release it when we recharge the battery. What happened subsequently was that Goodenough found a material that was better at reversibly catching this lithium and releasing it. The early batteries contained lithium metal, which is very highly reactive. So one of the developments that then came later on, which is really the kind of third part of the prize, if you like, is that we realized that we could use graphite to actually house lithium when the battery's fully charged. So rather than use a piece of lithium, which gets oxidized or releases its electrons, we use graphite in which the lithium is stored, and that kind of stabilizes the lithium atoms.
So finally, in desperation, Neil offered to sacrifice one of the spare batteries from his mobile phone. The phone only cost Neil £5, that's about $6, and it had £5 of free calls on it, so it was a pretty good bargain. And when he started opening the battery, he cut it in half, and using a knife, he short-circuited the two electrodes, and you can see the sparks, which show the amount of energy that must be in there. He then started unwrapping it, and I think this particular battery is quite complicated. It will have obviously the material for both the cathode, that's the positive electrode, and the anode, the negative one, but none of us could work out exactly what it was. Neil had wrecked it, pulling it apart, but some of them fizzed, which suggested possibly that there was some lithium there, but it might just have been electrolysis of the water.
We've been following the Nobel Prize for many years now. How do you feel about this one? This seems like a good chemistry one this time, doesn't it?
I think it's really good. First of all, it's chemistry. Secondly, it really fulfills Nobel's original will that the prize should be for something that is really useful to humanity. Energy efficient batteries that are light and store a lot of energy, are really important for decarbonizing our life, allowing us to use energy but without discharging so much CO2 into the atmosphere.
I guess one of the things that this prize might do is, in the wider community or in the public, is perhaps get people excited about batteries, and then we can tell people about the new type of batteries, chemistries that are coming along. One of the things that we're working on at the minute is trying to move towards what we call beyond lithium ion. So this is the next generation of batteries. These are the ones that will store much more energy than a lithium ion battery.
Could be more Nobel Prizes, mate.
Potentially, yeah. I might still be in with a chance.
And then he plunged the burning lithium into the beaker. I've got this, and this is a real Nobel Prize medal.